let's talk about Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? This is a very nostalgic show for me because I watched it a lot as a kid. There's also a lot of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons as a kid, Tom and Jerry and all that. I watched a lot of those older cartoons as a kid. But the one I watched the most was Scooby-Doo. So obviously this is going to be affected somewhat by nostalgia, but I'll try not to let nostalgia ruin my view too much. As with most cartoons of its time, it didn't have the best budget ever. Like, they had a terrible budget. So the animation is not good. And by today's standards, it would be terrible. But back then, it was okay. Not great, but decent for the cartoon show wise. Movies back then were just pretty good, actually. Animation for movies were awesome, and it's always been that way. But I feel in today's era, Where Are You, Scooby-Doo? Scooby-Doo, Where Are You was released in today's era of cartoon TV shows. It probably would have gotten a very good budget, and the animation wouldn't be as bad as it is. And, I'll give you an example, of when the animation went a little too bad, and a little too, oh, that looks so wrong and so fake, was the Black Knight episode with the museum and all that, where in the beginning where Scooby goes chasing after the frog, it's his running there. It's like, what is he, a windmill or something? Because his legs were spinning, and there wasn't any real animation of the paw hitting the ground with each step he took in the run, and it's like I couldn't tell he was running. I thought he was just spazzing out. That being said, the animation never really bothered me, though, to be honest, and it still doesn't. It kind of has that, it's kind of like the nostalgic feel to it, but even though it has a nostalgic feel to it, I still have to admit that it's terrible animation. And it's a real shame, because we've seen recently the new Scooby-Doo shows that have been released, like Mystery Incorporated and What's New Scooby-Doo, and how the animation is really good and not as terrible as it was back then. And it's really a shame that we didn't get Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, and that come out in the past couple years or so, because can you imagine what it would look like? It'd be amazing. And there's no real point to saying characters, because the only three characters were Scooby, Shaggy, and Velma. Daphne was the generic good-looking girl. Fred was the generic good-looking guy. We've seen this before, people. And we will see it since. But Velma was only... I only like Velma's character, really, when she was paired up with Shaggy and Scooby. Because that was when her character really got the shine. The only other characters really worth mentioning were the criminals, actually. I think we all know that this isn't a spoiler or anything. We all know that weren't actually supernatural creatures. They were all just people in costumes, right? But anyway, yeah, she definitely shined through when she was Velma definitely shined through when she was paired with Shaggy and Scooby, and the criminals in the costumes had the most personality. Ironically, since some of the costumes didn't didn't have any like speaking parts, and they still came through with better characters than Fred and Daphne had. They did work on it in the newer ones to give them more character in the newer shows, but still, there's that one thing that was missing from Where Are You, Scooby-Doo that could have made it, the perfect nostalgic show was having all the characters with personality. It's still one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera cartoons, really. I don't know what else to say, in all honesty. The music. Music. How can I forget the music, which was amazing? Those pop songs, those pop rock songs. I guess you can call them pop rock. But those songs were like the best, one of the best parts, especially when they do the song during the chase scene. They were always so catchy and so memorable. So I think I've covered everything. So what is my actual rating on Scooby-Doo? Well, 3 thumbs up out of 5. It's not perfect. It's nowhere near perfect. The animation does hold it back by today's standards, but back then it was good. It's just there's other things coming together to not make it the perfect show. If Daphne and Fred had had a better developed character, they would have been the show would have been a lot better. I still enjoy watching it, and if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. I think it's on like DVD now, maybe even on Blu-ray. I don't know. Could you improve the animation on Blu-ray though? Could you? Like, really? So that's my review of Scooby-Doo. Where Are You? Thanks for watching.